This episode is sponsored by Fostering UK, one of the UK's premier fostering agencies. If you've listened to this podcast for a while, you will know that we do not promote things lightly. If we talk about it, it's because we genuinely believe in it. And this one's personal. Louise actually fosters for them. After years of difficult experiences elsewhere, particularly around poor support and lack of real therapeutic understanding for the children in her care, she transferred to Fostering UK, and they do exactly what they say they do. And that's rare in our sector. They are therapeutic foster care specialists. The support is real, the training high quality, the matching is thoughtful, and the relationships feel human, not corporate. They focus on quality, proper therapeutic training, minimal placement breakdowns, and genuinely putting carers and children and families first. So, whether you're completely new to fostering or you are an experienced carer feeling unsupported and thinking about transferring, this could be very, very, very different for you. If you'd like a personal introduction, you can email us at sarahanderson@fosterwiki.com or Louise at louise-allen.com. Right, let's get into this episode.
Hello and welcome. Welcome back to Foster Care Uncovered. I'm Louise Allen. I'm here with the brilliant Sarah Anderson from Foster Wiki. And we have hit 20 episodes, which I think deserves a moment. There we are. That's a very quick second of a moment. Episodes 20. You know, when we started this, I think my biggest worry was that no one was ever going to listen except our family, and that would have been out of obligation and bribery. 20,000 downloads later. Did you hear that? Over 20,000 downloads later, I think it's fair to say that that really matters. And not only are we up there in the top 10% of podcasts being listened
All podcasts, not just a niche podcast.
all
Yeah.
podcasts, and that we're trending on the Apple podcast platform. So get us. So thank you. Thank you so much for listening. We're here for you. This is why we do it. So basically, we are just two middle-aged foster carers. We have no PR team, no budget, no office, just no gadgets, no lights, no microphones, just a lot of opinions, very good Wi-Fi connection, which for me is good, and you, Sarah, because we do rural areas. So everybody, thank you so much. We're here for you. We set this up for you, and it seems to be working. So right, let's crack on. First, some newsy bits, and I can reveal that there is fierce competition this week for the naughty step. We also we also have a brand new section, word salad of the week, because frankly, it was overdue. Then we get to the main event. I have to whisper it because Sarah comes out in hives. Foster Care Fortnight. Oh, she's going funny. Oh, Sarah, before we start, are you medically stable?
Well, you know, I've got my Benelli
You got your paper bag to blow in, and you got your
brown paper bag.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Right, let's go.
So, well, thank you for that lovely welcome, Louise. A little bit good, a little bit weird for me. Because also, thank you for calling us two middle-aged ladies. You do know I'm a pensioner now. I'm not sure that qualifies for middle-aged anymore.
Oh,
So, thank you. I'll take it, however.
I love
Right.
it.
So, hello, everybody. Lovely to have you all here. And it's going to be quite the episode. Now, I just would like to say before we start this episode, Louise and I discussed it first thing one Monday morning when Fostering Fortnight first launched. And I was like the Duracell bunny on speed, frankly. And I said that this one would have to be X-rated, which wouldn't best please our producer Carl. So I use the term producer lightly, as you say, and it's just me and you in our front rooms talking at the screen, because honestly, people who know me personally know I swear like a banshee anyway, but and apparently it's a sign of intelligence, so don't knock it.
I know that
Anyway, I'm going to try and keep off the swearing for this episode. How long do you give me, Louis?
10 minutes, max.
Right. So it's been quiet, sort of quiet in the news this week but what was really interesting is I did catch the latest video from the Children's Minister, Josh McAllister. He was speaking to someone, a care leaver, I think, and not so much about his not so well received reforms. He seems to have sort of been kind of shifting away from them because they haven't been well received at all, unfortunately. I'm hoping that when we go up to the DFE soon, we can help him with that, or help the government with that. But so his latest video is one of his favourite subjects. And this week's offering was all about he's going to put love back into the system. See, it's all our fault after all, Louise. We've got it all wrong. We're not loving enough. Foster carers obviously don't love anyone. It's, he's got to put love back, which I find mildly insulting, as well as all the other complicated things about all you need is love. Also, it's cheap, isn't it? It's cheap reform, because no amount of money can buy love, as we know. So they don't have to fling any funding at it, do they?
No.
What do you think?
All you need is love.
Don't give up the day job.
No, which one? Well, quite love. Not improved pay, no proper training budgets, not consistent social worker caseloads. Love. I mean, love. My foster children, I love my foster children deeply. I love all my children deeply, but I also need a support worker who answers the blimmin' phone. Not the old-fashioned, but love is not enough.
No. But also it's
again.
complex. It's so complex, love, isn't it? Because you can't just barge in loving children. Many of them feel totally conflicted if you start with all of that to begin with, especially children are so attached to their own parents still. It doesn't matter what they've done or what they haven't done. They are completely attached to their own parent. They won't barge in straight away and love you. So you don't just go, I love you, I love you. It's wrong to do that. Plus, also, I'll be honest with you, I have loved the majority of my young people in my own specific way. I always say I've got several places in my heart, one for my own daughter, but you also occupy another space just as important, but it's different, because love is not prescriptive. It's not one simple word. You can't buy it, you can't see it, you can't order it.
No.
So why is a children's minister running a video saying he's going to put love back into foster care? First of all, it suggests that we aren't loving in the first place, which won't do the morale and confidence and trust of carers any good to feel that's being said about them. But also, it's incredibly complicated. Some children will never want you to love them. Other children will want you to love them deeply forever. And what is it? What is love?
Well, somebody who grew up
so existential for 11:40 in the morning.
It's wow.
But it's not that easy, is it? You don't go, let's put love back. Well, there you are. Bob's your uncle. Lovely big freebie. Blame everybody else.
It's a word, and as we all know, talk is cheap, particularly in the sector. I think, as you say, you can't invoice it, can you? And you can't commission it. What this feels like is, I've got nothing else.
Yes, yeah. And so also, it's a big virtue signal, isn't it? Smile a lot, say how much you care. It's great from those exalted political positions where you never actually have to look after a foster child. Saying it's not a job, it's not work, and all you need is love.
Yeah, and sometimes I'm afraid that's not all we've got. We need more than that. I think it's dangerous. I think it's nasty, to be quite honest. And I think when this is coming from somebody, and I keep saying it because I keep looking at this, Sarah. And I know, you look at me sometimes and go, "Oh, Louise, But, every time I look at the faces who run fostering, it's predominantly white, middle-aged or middle-class men, all men without children. And this is really tough emotional labor, which women are much better at. And I'll tell you why we're much better at, because we have spent generationally, women have tiptoed on eggshells, navigating the men in our lives, in the workplace, in our families. We are much better at the complex emotional labor. It's in us, it's what we do. And we do it not because of love. We do it because it is what needs to be done to find love, from ourselves.
This is what I always say. I don't always say what you're saying, but I hear you. But what I say as well is, without creating the conditions around a carer and a child for love to flourish, you're doomed.
Yes.
You've got to create the stability. You've got to create the respect, the value. You've got to create mental health stability for carers as well as children. You've got to create the conditions where they can work not in a climate of fear, so that love can flourish. Anyway, shall we move on from that one? I think that's a whole blooming episode, that one.
I really do. You can't love when you're stressed,
I wanted to move on to the utter confusion around the regional care cooperatives.
Oh,
right. Now, people listening to this, the majority of them won't even know what they are, but listen to this. So I get an email from a foster carer, forwarded an email this week, and it's that familiar format from services to foster carers. We are excited and this is verbatim, we are excited to announce a seamless, transformational opportunity to enhance the fostering journey across the region. That doesn't even mean anything, is it? It's just code for nobody is entirely sure what's happening, but someone's definitively written a PowerPoint about it. It's what it is. It's these new end-to-end fostering hubs, which sounds like children's services more. It sounds more like a tech startup that's about to pivot to AI, doesn't it? Apparently, it's all about streamlining, this is in the email, streamlining, consistency and stronger links, which is the sort of sector's holy trinity of phrases, isn't it? It usually means we've changed the structure, but we haven't quite worked out what it does yet. Now, here's where it gets really interesting, okay? Because carers are reading this, social workers are reading this, managers are reading this, and everyone is doing that slightly awkward thing where you nod as if you understand while privately thinking, do I understand this? Or am I just pretending? Does anyone else understand? Earth to Mars. We've even had carers being told by professionals, by social workers last week, they've heard the fostering network are running these regional care cooperatives. So, and that's from social workers. Yeah, go on. Yeah.
I just, I'm always confused by everything that comes out. So can I just retract for our listeners? So end-to-end fostering hub. Okay, you have explained it beautifully. Like we explained it how I felt at school. Your eyes are open, your ears are open, but you haven't got a clue what they're talking. You're sitting there going, I hope this is over soon. So it's end-to-end fostering hub.
It will be over soon, Louise, and we'll be on to the next thing. We know that. Yeah.
I keep reading that and thinking end-to-end of what exactly? The child, the carers, patients, the government's credibility. I need more information. We all need more information. No, we don't need more information. Yeah. We don't need any more blimmin' information. We just need you to do the right thing. I call this the Emperor's New Framework, actually.
It is totally.
Everyone's nodding. Nobody's asking questions because we're not quite sure what we heard. And it's in that again. You're back at school going, if I say I don't understand, I'm going to look really stupid. But then, someone's got to, because one person is usually the one who ends up on the steering group. They didn't volunteer to be on. There's another reason we never put our hands up.
No foster carers have been involved in this at all.
Of us why it's not going to work.
It's actually run, is it? I just look. You know how much I know about this sector, and I'm going. I know Mutual Ventures, which is one of those kind of consultation people that you have no idea what they do, but they're on the government's favourite.
Do they make lots of word salads,
list.
Sarah?
So many word salads. In fact, I think most of my word salads will be coming from Mutual Ventures.
Excellent.
And all those in Tufton Street and Westminster, in the Quangos and the Quongos, or whatever they are up there, thinking that they're more intelligent than the rest of us and just talking a load of rubbish.
Yeah.
So I've gone already, really, haven't I? It wasn't even 10 minutes. Yeah, go on.
That is the clearest sign of communications failure, isn't it? When the rumour mill, right? So we've all heard about it. It's more informative than the official information. Right, we should move on because I can feel my.
Well, I'm just going to finish that bit about this because actually, I think it's very worrying that social workers are telling carers the fostering network are running it, and they've won the contract for these hubs. They haven't. Well, they're not running the regional recruitment. Sorry, I'm getting confused myself. The regional care cooperatives, which I might add, so many leaders in the sector have actually told me, off the record, they hate them as well. They're all hating them. So anyway, so the fostering network do not, but the very fact that social workers actually thought that is wildly worrying, because the fostering network could never run a regional care cooperative. Well, you'd hope not, but you never know anything, do you? It's just really frightening that anyone found that plausible. They might be running their mockingbird hubs, but that's something quite different. And I love the way that we're all, they're always told it's a wonderful opportunity, how lucky they all are. But, and then, of course, with the regional care cooperatives and the regional hubs, you get the usual supporting cast: mockingbird support, peer networks, regional coordination, the bleep register. I bleeped myself out there. Anyway, yes, it's all a bit surreal, isn't it? Let's move on. The naughty step. So you're so right, Louise. This was such a heavily contested award this week. We were spoilt. We were spoilt for choice, and my goodness, the standard was so high. So this week's do you know, this laughter is slightly hysteria. I've been swinging between spitting nails and feathers and God knows what this week to sheer dumbstruck. I can't believe this is all happening all over again. Yes, so the standard was really high. But so this week's prestigious award for fostering related absurdity and the naughty step, drum roll please. That was a rubbish drum roll. Goes to Portsmouth City Council. And I know you'll have a word about this in a minute, because apparently Portsmouth is now proudly celebrating itself as a fostering friendly county. Lovely banners, civic hall speeches, leaders from the community, business, networking, light refreshments, all the important stuff. Honestly, though, the irony is breathtaking, because the same system where actual foster carers, the people doing the 24/7 parenting, often describe living in a climate of fear, a system where Portsmouth and all councils will happily tell carers what they can and can't do, supervise every minute detail of their lives, hold the power to effectively end their fostering careers and any other career overnight, investigate them through allegations processes, which are, well, more like a kangaroo court, and then suddenly turn around and go, look how fostering friendly we are. I mean, friendly to who exactly? So giving badges to local businesses, clapping themselves at the civic hall. Maybe, from my mind, they could actually start with the foster carers themselves. What do you think?
Well, this is quite an interesting one. I wasn't expecting this week. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, Portsmouth. Because,
Oh, you used to live there?
Well, this more than
Ah,
that.
yes.
Apart from Portsmouth's brilliant, lovely, it's a lovely city. It's a huge naval heritage. Dickens was born there. I mean, there's a lot going on there. But when I ran away from my adoptive family because of the abuse, and frankly, I thought I was going to die, I ran to Portsmouth. Portsmouth is where I ended up going to art school. I became a university lecturer there, and I actually worked for a bit in the marketing department of the university, right next to the civic offices, the very place that they are describing. And I knew lots of social workers at the time. We were at that age we'd all go out drinking, because they were young and I was young and I could do it then. But you see, the thing is about Portsmouth, not so long ago, because I have a huge love for Portsmouth because it was very good to me. It became my family, and I had a lot of friends there, and I lived there for over 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so I know it like the back of my hand. Now, the thing is, a few years ago, no, last year I think it was, I had a meeting with I think it was the head of fostering and a few other great and good from Portsmouth. And I was offering my services, not only as, with my charity, Spark Sisterhood, to help young women from care with their life skills, but I was offering my services as an incredibly grateful, appreciative ex-care leaver who survived as I did because I lived in Portsmouth and it was a good place to live. And I offered with enthusiasm, with love in my heart, genuine love.
Yeah. And were you a foster carer by now?
Oh
Yeah, of
yeah,
course you was. Last year, yeah, of
totally,
course. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
totally. Written a
Mm.
number of books. I had, I'm well known to a few people, but I was offering my services to them to help them recruit and help them get more foster carers because I knew so many people. And I was binned off before I even got started. And my response was from them was, "We have Mockingbird. We know what we're doing."
Oh, no.
Pissed
Yeah.
off. And I actually felt personally very hurt because I
Mm.
wanted to big up Portsmouth and say, without Portsmouth, I wouldn't be where I am now or who I am now, really. It did me proud. But I'm really sad to hear this. And I also am in touch with a lot of the Pompey foster carers, so I know what's going on, and it is really sad. And I know that world, and I know when people, pat each other on the back and say, "Aren't we marvelous?" and they move on to their next job. It's those careers are transitional; they're movable.
Mm.
People move on, but it's always the foster carers who are left holding the babies, left holding the
Mm.
grief, left holding the trauma. So I don't know, when you talk about, that it's actually quietly catching fire, it might be one of the most accurate phrases I've heard about local authority fostering in years, Sarah, to be
Yeah, yeah. Mm. I
there's
think that, yeah, I think that it's also on LinkedIn, I got a bit of a battering, in the LinkedIn style. It was that every little helps thing, and it was that I think somebody quoted at me, "Oh, you can hold two truths at the same time," so they're both. But the problem is they
facts.
don't hold two truths. The bad and the good. They
So
don't hold two truths at the same time. They only focus on all this
exactly.
performative malarkey.
And
The
they
rest of it's brushed under the carpet. So nobody's holding two truths at the same time, except maybe us.
Everybody's saying that at the moment. I hear it on all the media, everything. We're holding two truths at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, come on,
Mm.
you got nothing to add to that. There's only one truth in this moment, and the truth is that the foster carers are struggling while the other people are doing what exactly? There are
And
so
the data says so. What's more, all these people at these meetings, none of them actually foster themselves. There
there
was
you go.
apparently, I got corrected on that. We had a foster carer there telling her inspiring story, and it moved everybody in the room. First of all, you're never going to foster yourselves. It's easy to be moved. It's very virtuous. But also, one foster carer does not represent what's going on.
No, absolutely. And it's oh, I've seen it too many times, and because it's Portsmouth, I'm so disappointed in them. I am so disappointed in
Mm.
Portsmouth because I would see it as my old home, and
Yeah, yeah.
I know those houses, I know those places, and I know the kinds of young people that go through Portsmouth because I used to teach them as well.
Mm.
So it's like, come on, you can do a lot better. It's this real them and us, isn't it?
Isn't it just? Isn't it just? Yeah.
Foster carers do the work.
Yeah, it is the them and us.
Got the grace.
It's exhausting, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's not them and us. We could probably do it without you.
Well, that's what I
This is
said to
Foster.
somebody in quite an exalted position this week. We're actually considering, foster carer takeovers coming soon.
Well,
Because actually foster carers are the ones that give everybody their jobs and their organisations and everything. And it's about time we ran some departments ourselves, because let's face it, the data and statistics tell us it is getting worse. And if it gets any worse than this, it's going to be a catastrophe. And it's already a catastrophe for so many children. They're bringing in people that have got a spare room and a pulse. They've lowered the bar so badly with these cottage industry assessments. Goodness knows how some of these people are getting through the assessments. And anyone listening knows that. They'll, no one says it out loud. But everybody knows it. Everybody's been to training if you're a foster care and thought, oh, goodness, how did they get to be carers? Every social worker will quietly go back to the office and hold their head in their hands and, oh, I spoke to several carers today. I mean, what?
Yeah.
Why is that okay? Anyway, do you think we should move on?
I do, and I just want you to move on, and it costs nothing, Portsmouth, all of you, to
contact us.
Carers with dignity. It costs nothing. So Portsmouth, you're on the naughty step.
Yeah, on the naughty step, Portsmouth. Try and get off it.
Right,
we go to word salad of the week.
Oh yes, please. Can I I'm very excited about
section. It's that thing where people who know nothing about anything are paid massive amounts of money to say shit about it and dress it up in word salads. Should I bleep that word out? Salad, so that the rest of us mere mortals will be impressed. Well, we are not, and you should not be paying millions for this. Sadly, but happily for the person who wrote it, I did this in such a hurry yesterday that I forgot to write down who said this, and now I can't find them again. If I can find it for next week, I'll say. But this is the word salad. We're going to start off with this new section. Now, it's a tongue. It trips the tongue, this one. So bear with.
Miranda.
So, oh God. Oh, I'm leaning on my thing here. Right, so let me read it. It says, in order to operationalize a strengths-based, trauma-informed whole system approach, we are seeking to co-produce a dynamic cross-sectoral mobilization framework that enables strategic alignment across commissioning pathways, thereby embedding relational practice at scale whilst ensuring fidelity to outcome-focused delivery models and place-based transformational priorities. This will require a recalibration of the ecosystem narrative, with particular attention to governance, scaffolding, workforce enablement architectures, and the iterative co-design of sustainable value propositions for children and families.
I'm sorry, I need to stop you there because I just blacked out slightly. Governance, scaffolding. Governance, scaffolding.
Yeah, governance, scaffolding.
I have genuinely seen scaffolding on buildings. Yes. It comes down eventually. Governance scaffolding, I fear, may be permanent. And do you know what this reminds me of, Sarah? I'm from an arts background. I went to art school, and I know, and I've been to a lot of really pretentious do's in my and there was
it's so true, isn't it? This is true. I'm not even
zombie art. There was in the 90s, when what's his name was doing the shark and everything, and
Damien
Hirst.
Yeah.
Zombie art was a really well-known. You paint really bland, boring art that is like the equivalent of elevator music, but in art. And you come up with titles that were 2 sides of A4, and they were words, so they were utter pretentious and meaningless nonsense. And we used to sit in our studios when we've done this really bland work and come up with 2 or 3 pages of A4 utter nonsense. You see, it's worse now because they can put it through AI and they
Yeah.
can rubbish.
I do think they go to their
At least we had to think of it.
I know this one. So this one translated, that blurb I've just read actually translate to, if you read it, and yes, we're intelligent enough to read
Translate,
it.
please.
It says, we've written a 60-page report to say we might need to talk to each other properly and stop doing fragmented commissioning. But do you think they go to their AI and go, right, I want to write, we've written a 60-page report to say we might need to talk to each other and stop doing fragmented commissioning. Can you write it in an intellectual way so nobody can understand it and I look terribly fancy?
I bet you can. I'm going to try it later.
I'm going to try it too. We could
Right,
write our own word salad.
To say, talk to each other. I generally think there are foster carers in this country who have been saying that for free.
But only millions.
For the past 20 years. No PowerPoint or AI required. Right.
Talk to each other.
Oh my God. Shall we take a break in a minute before
Yes, let's go to a break and we'll see you when we get back.
This is an advertisement for Foster Wiki Support Plus, the premier support services for foster carers by foster carers. This isn't generic support as you know it. It's real backing from experienced carers who understand the job, the pressure, the responsibility, the isolation, and who stand alongside you professionally. And here's what carers absolutely love. Many of the top-rated national foster carers qualifications are included free in membership, and others are heavily discounted. They're not tick box courses, they're nationally recognised and can count towards accreditation. So if you want to be an accredited foster carer, this is a powerful place to start. We offer them because we believe foster carers deserve professional standing, recognition in teams around their children, in being informed, educated and confident. So support, qualifications, accreditation, go to fosterwiki.com and click on Foster Wiki Support Services to join. Honestly, for just $6.99 a month, you can change your fostering world and have backup you never dreamed possible.
Welcome back, everybody. So, on to the main subject.
The main event. I'm going to have to take a deep breath. I'm still recovering from the word salad. Partly out of respect for the topic and partly out of because Sarah has been twitching since I mentioned it earlier. Foster Care Fortnight.
Yes, it's here again. Look, we do need to shine let me put this straight first of all. It's not because I have a visceral, not because the fostering network have a visceral effect on me. They do, and that's for very good reasons. It's not because I'm, don't like them for any agendas or work reasons. Nothing like that. I just know how much they control fostering through the government, through everyone, and we'll come to that in a bit. And I need that control to come away from them because it is led and run by social workers. And we do not need to be represented by unspoken for by social workers, especially given that culture on the front line is not good. It's not good. No one can deny that. Of course, we've got great pockets of lovely relationships and everything. And we have to keep saying that as though people think that we're all doom and gloom. We're here to critically analyse what's going on and what's going wrong. So Foster Care Fortnight again, expensive, social work driven, and as ever arrives wrapped in that national messaging and narrative about recognition, celebration and awareness, a programme of events that will move through Parliament, sector conferences and campaigns designed to put fostering in the spotlight for 2 weeks. So anyway, I did think you'd like a bit of inside information. I heard last night from a very reliable source, the main catch for the parliamentary opening, which I do believe is tomorrow, which is odd because it started on Monday. They're going to have one of their parliamentary celebration shindigs, as they always do, the usual crap. Anyway, the main pull, of course, was Josh McAllister, the children's minister, who was going to be attending and speaking. I heard last night he's pulled out.
You hear you going?
No, he's not going. He's cited diary clashes, apparently. But come on, you don't have a diary clash at the last minute like that. These politicians, weeks and years are mapped out in advance, well in advance. Now, that's very interesting to me, whether it's a genuine change of plan or is it a quiet step back? I don't know, but it's already landing with carers the carers are writing, but they've rearranged work, sorted childcare, and in some cases attended, funded their own attendance. The fostering network are making them pay to go to this thing. I don't know, hundreds of quids or whatever. Don't quote me on that. Only to find the figure that they were really going for at the last minute isn't going. So, but does this speak to something wider about this fortnight? Because while the sector gathers in these formal settings to talk about fostering, many carers do not experience these moments on a daily basis. They sometimes don't experience them at all, this stuff that they trot out. And the thing is, at this launch in Parliament, there's that practice guide being launched, and we've spoken about that last week, I think, didn't we? Created by the Westminster group called Foundations. But it follows sharply on the heels of the allegations toolkit, which I'm now reliably told that the government asked to be taken down, but that's come from a source, so I'm not, but I think it's probably reliable. Because of the effect it had on the fostering community. That was an allegations toolkit Fostering Network wrote, and it was terrible, controlling, derogatory. It was just shocking for foster carers. So they're going to do this new one, this practice guide, which is a practice guide for social workers on how to treat and support their foster carers, which is quite extraordinary, isn't it, that they need a practice guide on that? But I've got a feeling, I'm going to try and get my hands on a copy of that. I've got a feeling maybe Josh McAllister might be distancing himself from another disaster. I'm only guessing, but it does seem really rather odd. What do you think?
Maybe he's gonna stand for the new prime ministership.
I don't know. We've always said that, haven't we?
Well, I don't know whether he's got.
I think probably not this time round.
No,
he probably won't want to take it on while it's so toxic as well. Josh does like to be popular and succeed, which is maybe why he's withdrawing a little from this. Exactly. I don't know.
I'm gonna try and be the slightly more optimistic voice here. I'm laughing already. It's a bit like when we said you're not allowed to swear, Sarah. I disagree with a word you've said, but because I think we owe it to ourselves and our foster carers listening. The cynic in me finds Foster Care Fortnight very easy to mock. I've driven past civic buildings when you got those banners that have sort of slightly collapsed and blowing up, and the corners covering the F, and it's Foster Care Fortnight, and there's a letter missing along the way. It looks dreadful. The 2 weeks of thank you very much for your service posts for the same local authorities who have answered that haven't answered an email since maybe February. The stock photos of happy children on park swings that bear absolutely no resemblance to anyone's lived experience. But here's the thing. We are in a crisis. Tens of thousands. Put my teeth back in. 10,000 foster carers short. I believe it's more than that.
Oh, the Fostering Network have reduced that to 6,000 this morning. It just depends where you read. I mean, the Social Market Foundation reckons by this year we needed 25,000 more. Yeah, and actually they wrote that 4 years ago, and actually instead of 25,000 more, that was proper research by another one of those Westminster bods. We've actually now got probably 8,000 less.
And maybe they've reduced it so it doesn't sound quite so scary.
Yeah.
Okay, so Well, what have they spent? Over nearly £100 million thrown at the four hubs, the regional hubs, creating recruitment. Generation of consultancy firms with foundations in their names and mates in the government. Numbers aren't moving. Nothing's changing. So if Fostering Fortnight isn't working, which it clearly isn't, then what does work? And a little bird told me, Sarah, that Foster Wiki have got something up their sleeve.
Do you know what? I'm going to talk a little bit about Fostering Network's statement about Fostering Fortnight, and then after that, that's a great good question. It's all, yeah, ask me that in a minute.
Yeah.
Can I start with unpacking the Fostering Network CEO, Sarah Thomas, who is a social worker, her opening gambit on social media, and I've actually got the actual words rather than just, so that I'm saying verbatim. So I'm going to say the lines and then have a little input. Welcome to Foster Care Fortnight. This year's theme is "This is Fostering." But is it? Because frankly, year after year, it's anything but. We will be spending the next 2 weeks shining a light on the realities of fostering and the profound impact foster carers have on children and young people. More meaningless drivel. It's meaningless for me when it comes out of that lens, because actually there is that reality, as I've said, about that culture shock on the front line between social workers and foster carers. So to have a social worker sitting there saying, shining a light on the realities and the profound impact you have, it does not sit right. So here's the thing. During the fortnight, we'll be thanking foster carers for their incredible commitment. We know fostering is joyful and empowering, but can also come with some challenges. And foster carers are telling us they feel undervalued at times and unsupported. So we will use this opportunity to raise awareness of these challenges and call on the government for change. First of all, joyful and empowering. That could only come out of those mouths, couldn't it?
Well, people have never fostered.
People never fostered. I call it a lot of things. Personally, I'm not sure I go around. It is one of the most disempowering things to do because of the culture across the sector and the system. I wouldn't say there's anything empowering about it at all. Joyful, pockets of joy. But I'd call that something different anyway. And it just shows that that's so, So then she goes on to say, carers are telling us they feel undervalued and at times, unsupported. Well, when? 30 years ago they were telling you? 20 years ago they were telling you? Decade ago they were telling you? They've been telling you for decades, and now you just announce it like it's some little surprise. It's been in your surveys, on your social media, which is, they hardly get a positive remark on their social media anymore, in their droves, in their thousands. And it comes out as a tiny little line that we may feel a bit undervalued and unsupported at times. Give me strength. And then the pièce de la résistance. So we will use this opportunity to raise awareness of these challenges and call on the government for change. What even is that? This is an organisation that is the government when it comes to fostering, or so they like to tell us. They sit at the right hand of the minister, at the head of the table. They're now the only voice in education's select committees. And if anyone doesn't know, an education select committee inquiry is something that informs all these reviews and things. No other foster carers at the latest select committee inquiry, just social workers telling them how we feel, what we do, what we need.
That's bullying. No one knows how to feel.
It's gaslighting.
It's terrible.
Is Fostering Network Fortnight, Foster Care Fortnight, is it just a massive gaslighting exercise? It feels like it. They're funded. So the Fostering Network are funded to the tune of millions by the government. They do surveys every year for decades showing the same problems. They influence the government every single day. Their lobbying for Mockingbird results in millions of disproportionate funding for just their own pet project, 4% of fostering families and children. They push for a register that no one wants. They are the government's voice, and yet have daily, yearly, minute by minute opportunities to raise awareness of these challenges, to influence the change. They sit on the government's board. So what are they doing suddenly using Foster Care Fortnight saying, we're going to call on the government? Do they think we're that stupid?
I think
Sorry,
they
I'm enter the Duracell bunny on steroids. So right, let me get a big deep breath. Oh, down a few decibels. They must think we're all very stupid. We know they do. It's one of the worst. It's one of the worst parts of the social work profession, projecting their idea of our intelligence onto us. You're all a bit thick, so we'll help you out.
Thick. Foster carers are thick.
Then you're going to love this bit. It's one of your favourite pet subjects. Then it says, we would really love for everyone in the fostering community to join in. So go to our website. So shall we trot across to their website? Give me a second. Okay.
Blocked.
Oh, look at this. I blocked it. Honestly, the tone of it is, it must become a genre of its own, hasn't it? It really has. It's oddly infantilizing nursery school meets HR comms energy to the whole thing. Come along to a get-together, download your activity pack, you year sixes, bring a picnic, share your story, come along to a get-together. I mean, it's sits so strangely. This is the thing. It sits so strangely along the reality of fostering, doesn't it? So strange. Let's face it, it's cheerful, isn't it? But alongside it, it's our allegations processes, placement instability, escalating complexity of children's needs, emotional weight of holding everything together when the system is feeling increasingly fragile. And let's not beat around the bush. Children as collateral damage. And here we are. Activity packs, but then we're fine. We've got what is activity pack anyway? So what stands out is the language, isn't it? This is really important for me as well. We're told foster carers should feel valued, not that we should be valued.
Yeah.
That's a good one, isn't it?
It's up to us to feel valued.
It's up to us to feel valued. Very different thing.
Always.
If you're actually embedded value structurally, you wouldn't need an annual campaign reminding people to experience it like it's a mood, would you? And yet here we are with scavenger hunts, coffee mornings, positions. It's like they're meaningfully will address retention, burnout, or trust.
Sarah, can I just double check, because I'm sitting here slightly agog. I want to. Are the scavenger hunts and everything like that for the actual foster carers, for the adults? Our children
say
who should be at school. So we the
scavenger hunt.
We've got plenty of other stuff to do.
Give me that activity pack.
Going on a
scavenger Go over that scavenger hunt.
Oh my God.
Let me share my story.
You know what it feels like? It feels like, the one weekend I spent in Girl Guides before I never went again.
Did you? I can't imagine.
I'm not really a club kind of person.
No, you're not.
I did one weekend. I just refused to ever go back because it was a bit like that. That's really concerning. You see, you have that kind of language, but you have that directly sitting next to "we're in a crisis." That's not crisis language. That's like weird denial language. It's like, saying, I don't know what it's like, because I can't say anything too political on here, but it's like, saying that a genocide doesn't exist. It's not real. It's like saying.
But the thing is, it's like I think what you're saying there is that it's a total denial of a crisis. Yeah, total denial that it even exists.
It's a kind of form of denialism. It's denialism.
What it is a alternative reality. Let's call it that.
Yeah.
Foster Care Fortnight, the alternative reality.
It's very strange, and it's very, what does it actually look like? Because I'm a foster carer. Nothing has changed in my day, knowing it. Oh, I am doing a radio interview. I got the BBC.
Oh, jolly good.
Nobody's
asked me to do anything. Oh, have you had your invite to the special fostering launch of the Fostering Network's launch of Fostering Fortnight in Parliament tomorrow?
No,
neither have I. I've got a frock and everything.
I've got a tiara ready.
Have you? Not an invite in sight.
You know, they don't ever,
Because we know nothing about fostering,
those
do we?
organisations.
We don't talk to anyone in foster care. We have no clue what foster carers do. Nothing.
No, they never
The
contact me.
social workers know.
Yeah. Well, should I call it the social work fortnight?
Yeah, I know.
So
I know, but it's just, do you know what?
I want them to recruit.
Do you know what, Louise? With my other head on.
Yeah, which one?
Breaks my bloody heart.
No, it does.
You know it does. I joke about it. I get wild about it. I get mad about it. But it's all just breaking my heart.
This is
For the
not
children that are being let down, for the
This is
care
not
leavers who
how
are
you-
dying. They're dying out there, Louise.
I know they're dying out there, and I could give you. I've had an incredible month of hearing these stories directly from source. Now, what it is this is not how you recruit new foster carers. This is not
No.
how you transform, even tweak a foster sector. This has nothing to do with what we do. It's a very strange denial of what is going on, and a fortnight every year to talk about and celebrate us and say thank you. I haven't received a thank you. So a generic thank you on
Why don't they just roll out last year's and keep repeating the same one?
I don't know, because I can't.
It'd be a lot cheaper.
I know, but I don't know whether foster carers enjoy it. I don't know. Foster carers out there, tell us. You know, this might be us
I
just.
know some are doing some are doing the doings. I know that. And look, I know everyone was, oh, you're so negative, every little helps. And, I think my point is, and it doesn't, I'm sure foster carers are joining in and doing their bit and trying to do their bit. I think that this does harm, that we perpetuate this narrative. We don't offer any kind of reality as to what fostering was. They're not going to offer any challenges of the challenge. All they're going to say is they need more support, and that will come in the form of Mockingbird. This is also, don't forget, it's 2 weeks of propaganda from the fostering network. It's pure and simple. They sit happily on their big salaries and their pensions and their power. Social workers have a lot more power than we do, and they belittle foster carers, in my view. That's my view, by just having a couple sit on their experts by experience board. I mean, and they're all, mostly Mockingbird Hub carers, so it's all a carefully curated PR job. I think it's harmful to foster care. I don't think it, they'll sit on the couches on the breakfast shows spouting the same stuff. Nobody will come forward. What's more, can you imagine the thousands involved in something like this? Not one of them will foster.
No.
All those people that went to Portsmouth, the employees, the leaders, the everything. None of them would.
Exactly
no one would step forward to foster.
I know who they are. I know where they live.
Yeah, they're not going to foster.
They're not going to foster.
It becomes, this thing where we are their product.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are their product that allows them all of their
virtue,
their nice houses, their pensions. We are the product of that is being passed around, and the commodity.
And so are the children.
And so, the children more than anything
are the commodity. The children, are the cash cow for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it's heartbreaking.
So anyway, should we? I mean, what you asked me a question earlier, didn't I? Can't remember.
I did.
So less negativity, let's say, because people will say, "Oh, well, what do you suggest?" So,
okay, well, I want to hear about this from Foster Wiki Fortnight, because I want foster care. I would like foster carers to be proud. I would like foster carers to have to be shoulder to shoulder with the social workers. There are fabulous social workers out there that feel
absolutely
exactly as we do.
Yes.
As we do.
Yeah, numerous. Yeah.
And this is where it gets really confusing. So I think your idea, and I only heard a whisper of Foster Wiki doing its own fortnight.
Okay, so for many, many years now, people have come to us and said, can't we do our own fortnight? And it's one of those things where you have to build up to it. You have to build your membership. You have to build not just your membership, but your You have to build your reputation. We've now done a lot. We've done our own survey, which has turned out to be the biggest independent survey of foster carers ever. We've written some, excuse me, we've written some impact papers that have gone to government on allegations, and another one on retention and recruitment. We've done, we've written our idea about fostering. We've also got the National Foster Carers qualifications, fantastic real peer support, real independent peer support of Foster Wiki. We've introduced the Starling model, which is like an all-encompassing Foster Wiki support for services and agencies. We've also launched a while ago an assessment process that takes 10 weeks, is safer than the Form F, is not based on this sort of cottage industry, sit on your sofa job. It's half that and half professional. People go and it's strengths based. It's more people at the beginning and less people at the end. There's no point in having one single assessor. That's terribly dangerous. And it's a fantastic thing. And woven throughout that is the National Foster Carers qualification in foster care, an accredited qualification. So they come out the other end as, So anyway, I'm also in the process of writing a paper on the future of foster care, a solution-focused paper. So we decided, okay, perhaps this year we've built enough to say that we could do our own fortnight. And we've only just been speaking to our Foster Wiki advisory board, to close friends and everything, and everyone's very excited about it. So yes, you heard it here first. It will be in October or early November. We're just booking the room for Parliament now because we will launch in Parliament. And my MP sorting that out for me now. And we are going to, it will be a Foster Wiki fortnight, but it's going to be called The Future of Foster Care.
Wow.
And it's going to be a real frontline event. It's going to be foster carers. It's going to be care leavers. We've already got lots interested. It's going to be leaders from across the sector, but also frontline social workers. And it's going to be around hope, solutions, the real frontline, the future, change, reform, morale, trust, confidence. It's going to be a really positive thing. It's going to be film, talks, everything, but all focused on the future of foster care, because it really does need an overhaul.
It really does. So you know what they say, if you can't get around the table, create your own table. And you're doing this brilliant. I would love to be involved. You haven't asked me yet.
Well, it's also been fun. You're head of the table, love. You're up there.
I'd love to be involved.
I could leave you out.
Can't leave me out.
You know where I live.
Crying. Yeah, I know where you live. Watch it. So it's like, I think this is really exciting. In the background, there's never again, when people say, oh, there's a lot going on in the background, that might be just meaning nothing. But we generally do have people working away in the background, and we're growing our network for all the time of really good providers, really good practice.
Yes. Really good practice.
We're working with the providers who are getting Ofsted outstanding ratings.
Well, like our sponsor, Fostering UK, and let me just put a good word in for them there. I know we do an advert at the beginning, but and I do believe this week or next week we've actually got a young person doing the advert, which I think is a stroke of genius. But because they've actually somebody, they'll all be anonymous, of course, but it's a young person who has experienced the care of Fostering UK, and I think that's incredibly important. But Fostering UK does what it says on the tin. I have regular conversations with the CEO. He's down to earth. He knows all the problems. He sorts stuff. He's just so into the kids, and he looks after his carers. Now, what could be better practice than that? And he treats them, it's the message across the whole agency is these people are to be treated professionally as part of the team. They're part of us, and there's a reverence and value that everybody deserves. So well done, Fostering UK.
Yeah, nowhere near the step. They're at the top of the step.
They're at the top. They're on the good step. Perhaps you should have the good step. The good step sounds like a ship, doesn't it?
Yeah, the good step, fostering care step.
a good
step.
step.
Fostering care step. Right. Let's get this down to a close before everyone gets off and does what
Nods
they
off.
do. So, thank you for listening to Foster Care Uncovered, episode 20. If this show has meant anything to you, share it. Tell a carer. Tell a social worker about it. Tell your MP, frankly. We'll be back next week for more. But before we go, I want to tell you something else that Sarah, our amazing Sarah, has done. She's only set up a merchandise shop. Sarah, quickly, you're so naughty. I love it. Can you quickly, before everyone rushes off?
Yes,
quickly,
Foster Wiki merch. It's coming.
Our own merch.
Now, what we do want, we've got a beautiful logo, and we've got a beautiful t-shirt. What it is, you just order straight from the shop. You decide which t-shirt, sweatshirt, mug, bumper sticker, whatever you want, and it comes straight to you. So we don't hold a lot of stock. It's just a print on demand. So we've got a beautiful starting t-shirt and stuff, and it'll be the same logo can go on the mugs, and you'll be really, really proud to wear it. Especially in meetings and stuff like that. It's but what we're looking for actually is, have you got any funny ideas? You know, what sort of mug would you like to give your social worker in supervision a cup of coffee in? What would it say? Be naughty.
Yeah,
not too naughty.
I'd have one.
Foster carers do it 24/7. You know, what do you want these things to say? You came up with the idea of car stickers. That's absolutely brilliant. So yeah, and also don't forget, and we'll be giving some away as prizes as well, but every time you buy a bit of merchandise, a bit goes into our pocket. And we run on fresh air, don't we?
We
all
do.
of us that are on the good side, actually independent, supporting care and everything. We run on fresh air, and sometimes we don't even have the fresh air. We're running on, I don't know, empty. So it will really, really help us for you to buy some of these lovely things that are coming. Yeah.
Right. That's brilliant. Thanks, Sarah. Thanks for hearing about
Thank you.
Now, everybody. Do you
no, I don't think there was one swear word.
There was only one? No, which is good, because I'm fluent in dockyard, because I did live in years. So we're only rhyming swear.
Portsmouth dockyard.
Fluent in dockyard. Right. So you all take care of yourselves. Thank you for listening. You know, we really appreciate this, and we're here for you. This is why we're here, because of you, the fostering carers, the foster carers who matter so much. This is for you. Now you take care of yourselves.
Yeah, take care, everyone, and thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.